is as big as Texas of America, or 3 times as big as the UK, with 75 million people. Istanbul, only 1% of Turkey, but 20% of Turkey's people live here. And they seem to be paying almost half of the tax collected in the whole country. Istanbul is, in a way, like this bus. On one side, Asia, along Asia. On one side, Europe, with one door in the middle. That door is like a channel into the mainland for about 5-6 miles. We call it the Golden Horn. So, the Golden Horn divides the European Istanbul into two. The New Peninsula and the Old Peninsula. We are in the New Peninsula. We will just make a U-turn around the world. We will go to the Old Peninsula, where all the history took place. Say 150 years ago, there were almost nothing on this side of the city. And all the trade, merchants, craftsmen, everything in Old Town for years, for decades. Especially after the 60s, when television entered into our lives, the families in the countryside were content with what nature gave them, were not happy anymore. After seeing all the glitters, in order to give children a better future, a better life, started moving into the big cities. But of course, improper expansion of the cities started in those days. That was neglected by the local authorities. Every 4 or 5 years, when the election time comes, they say, oh, if you vote for me in the coming elections, I'll legalize your house. Thus, the city expanded crazily with too many cheap-looking houses. If you were early birds, you could have seen along the shoreline some that kind of houses. After the 1999 earthquake near Istanbul, that killed roughly 30,000 people. So now the authorities are finally awakened. Now they are building new multi-story apartment blocks, and people move from those cheap-looking into those, and at least they will be able to own it, because most of them do not even own the place they occupy. Long time ago, those hills that were once forest lost their forest characteristic in the long run, because global warming started way before. And so in Turkey, if you, like Ephesus area, forest and mountain owned by government, if there is a piece of land in the forest, you can just plant fruit trees. After 10 years, it's yours with a little payment. So people just cut the trees or burn. Thus, now Istanbul is changing its outlook, especially in the recession in the world economically. Probably this is one of the few cities that had the least effect in construction sector. So it is decided 400,000 buildings to be pulled down because not strong enough to another earthquake. All 1,000 buildings studied past 10 years. Now gradually they will be pulled down and build new things. Also, like in the last 5 years, I recognize, especially after the collapse of AIG Citibank, that really affected a lot. A lot of European also entrepreneurs started investing in Istanbul-like cities, because while the economy is already low and with that recession hit the bottom, now as we go to the other side of the water, I'll show you this part of Istanbul is becoming crazily big, multi-storied, huge skyscraper-like structures. Old Peninsula, like my father was a shoemaker, he used to come when I was little. Everything was in the Old Peninsula, the Grand Bazaar area. Indoor, 5,000, exterior, 10,000 shops. Not only Turkey's people, neighboring countries, people also were coming here for buying their stuff on sale and then retailing their shops. Systematically, they are removing the old peninsula's new buildings, because the waste of the workshops, sometimes the old shops on the silver side. their own like zones. Everybody loves to live close to a ghetto. Everybody wants to be close to one another near church. This is a great city with a multi-religious outlook. 3,000 mosques, 200 churches, 40 synagogues, 90 monasteries, and the Patriarchate of the Greek Orthodox Church and the Armenian Church still in Istanbul. This is, there is a real tolerance and respect. Turkey, 99% Muslims, but we are happy together. Nobody cares what your religion is. It's business or friendly relations or neighborhood relations that counts more. We are now going over the bridge, the Golden Horn Bridge, that will take us into the Old Peninsula, where there are some of the best mosques of Istanbul also. Way back, 4 little minarets visible. Hard to see maybe from there. That is where we will be. That is the Blue Mosque area. The Blue Mosque, the Topkapi Palace, and the Hagia Sophia. Important places of Istanbul are all within walking distance to one another. So we will be in the same peninsula of Istanbul. First of all, I will play with the order of the visit according to the crowd I see. Then we'll try to show you things as best as possible. The forest-like edge over there, that is the Topkapi Palace. That is where we will be. 40-mile long straight to the Bosphorus and 6-mile long perpendicular Golden Horn Canal that divide the city into two. And in the past, this is where most of the nice palaces of the sultans and the rich homes of the noble families. Today, not that much left, of course. Some of them are left behind, are used only as museums. The world-famous spice market of the Egyptian Bazaar of Istanbul is right across. You see that three-arched structure? Any spice or herb you want in the world. Anything and everything is there. It's very quiet now, but in the afternoon when we go back, you will see it will be packed with people. And also, today is also Friday. It's a holiday and shop day, religious day. So will be very crowded. Therefore, we will have to leave the Blue Mosque to the last. Till 2 o'clock, it will be closed. Control line has only 10 history. Imagine the neglectance of the past governments. For such a big city, there is no metro, subway, no tram. So the city is on the way. Wake up at 5 in the morning, and as if the whole city was awake. Everywhere moving. Majority of the residential homes are in Asia. Everyday people cross over the Bosphorus or ferries, come here, and every evening they go back. That's the reason the government is planning to move these shops into outside the city, closer to the residential areas, to reduce the traffic. Now I understand why the company was alert like this morning. Bosphorus, we also have one further up, Fatih Sultan Mehmet. Fatih is the conqueror, Mehmet, Sultan Mehmet is the conqueror of Istanbul. So the second bridge is named after him, the first bridge is named after Atatürk. Now they started 2 months ago the third bridge to connect the two continents. And last month they started to project the biggest airport of the world with 100 million passenger capacity, because the city is growing unbelievably. Every year they save 100,000 beds. Anywhere, all over the world. I mean, for Syria, Iraq, like countries, Istanbul. Turkish people, Europe. European people, America. It's like a chain. Everyone has a dream, one level above. 20 years ago, when I used to visit Istanbul, Istanbul did not have one skyscraper-like building. So the result of the last 10 years, if you look backwards, can you see those high buildings? Believe me, they are maximum 10 years old. And I just heard from my colleague from Istanbul, 65 now, within just 10 years. And now in the other side, there was nothing in the European side. Now we are going to see also some of them. Now another project that will open next month, as the 29th of October, okay? Under the water, a tunnel is built. Tram line will go across underwater. During the works in the past 5 years, they found a collapsed port here. As a guide, we have been narrating Istanbul as a city with 2,500-year-old history. Now, they found some collapsed port with mud protected some bones, skeletons. When studied, 8,500-year-old bones are found. There's some other objects now being studied. Now the whole history will change. Nobody nowhere says this city has this much of a history. That is the military barracks, which used to be during the Crimean War a hospital. You know, the famous nurse Florence Nightingale, the mother of modern nursing. That is where she studied. The canal, the Bosphorus, joins the Marmara into the Black Sea up north. From overwater, water flow down, sweeter. Underwater, water go up. There's because 4 or 5 centimeter level difference. Does this stream bring lots of fish straight, and people make a living out of it? Anchovy, bluefish, sea bream, sea bass. Anchovy, people are obsessed in the Black Sea. All countries of the Black Sea. Most of the fish is anchovy and tonfish. They make lots of things, koftas, even sweets out of anchovy. You know, some countries you have people who you sometimes make fun of and make jokes on Turkey and so like in England they make fun of the Scots, in America you make fun of different people. Here they do make lots of fun of the people of the Black Sea as they are famous with their witty dialogues. Turkey is today the owner of the 46% of the world marble reserves. So those in Ephesus you saw, all in the country Turkey. Ancient cultures did use the marble of this country, it's not brought from somewhere else. In the Marmara Sea we have 9 islands, islands. Those are some of the best marble quarries of the world. So the name Marmara comes from Marmar in Turkish. It came into Latin as Marmo and then to English as marble. In very old times, this was the geography of marble. Yes, Roman culture was famous. They had the biggest, best Roman sculpture school in Italy in those days. But the second best school of sculpture was near Ephesus. So this country was also very famous. We are trying to use a shortcut. The driver says they just closed it for today. Sometimes, without announcing in advance, they are just closing the roads. In Turkey, there are almost 2,000 historical sites. 2,000. Some of them are Ephesus like big, but majority a little smaller than that. That's a very big number. Date-wise, if you look at the figure I make, 1100 before Christ, 1100 after Christ. 350 before Christ, 350 after Christ. I round the dates, easier to remember. Till 1100 BC. The major power that existed in the geography of Turkey was the Hittites. Maybe you heard before the Hittites. The Hittite era ended around 1100 BC because there was a drought which lasted 50 years. So no one can survive without water. Some come to the coastal Turkey, made Ephesus like cities. Some took the ships, went to Italy, made the first Etruscans of Italy. Some went farther, made the first Londoners of England. Some, instead of going towards west, they went towards east, overland into Asia. Few families crossed Bering Straits, Alaska, Canada, into America. When ice melted, they couldn't return. The native Indians in, especially Arizona, Lake Havasu, they are related to these Hittites. With 1100, we didn't hear much about the Istanbul area, but from 1100 to 350 BC, we call it Ionia. The famous Ionian civilization made Ephesus. 350, with Alexander the Great, Roman era started. Lasted till 350 AD, Constantine the Great. So, Roman Empire lasted in Europe and in Turkey from 350 BC to 350 AD. 350 AD, Constantine the Great, first Roman ruler that was Christian. He couldn't say that in Ephesus or in Rome. He came to this city and called this religion and own power here. So, Constantinople started with him 350 AD. With him, the Roman Empire finished. Actually, it continued, but historians did this. We rename it as Byzantium or Byzantium. Byzantium in Istanbul started 350 AD. 1100 AD is the final date. Turkish people came to this geography. We are originally from north of China, Mongolia, Turkmenistan like places. Came to Turkey 1100 AD. Came to Istanbul 1450 AD. So it was another 250 years. It was Byzantium. So from 350 to 1450, this was a Byzantium city. After 1450, Ottoman Empire. We'll talk about it. When we move around, that will be easy to communicate with the radios.